Welcome back. Okay, so we're about to get into episode 4 of season 1 of the Love Experiment on MTV. Okay, this is I'm your host Demita Joe, and I love reality TV, especially reality TV where people are dating, right? Especially if they're people of color. So shout out to them. But the Love Experiment, if you haven't been following, it's like a real life dating app, and the girls are three best friends and they get to go on this dating experience together. And the hall is like little sections. Every little section is a different man, and the area around him has stuff that attributes to his personality. They get to pick men and date them. And so the competition is really with the men. So this episode was the Romantic Getaway, okay? And so the ladies are remember the last episode, um Paige kissed Chris in front of Justin, no less. So that's something that's going on. Josiah and Eshawn entered the competition. And the people that went home was Kenny, Preston, and Terrell. So anyway, the girls gather after Paige kissed Chris in front of Justin. Like, she had to kiss one of her connections while the other connection that she just kissed the night before was watching. So the girls all talk. And this is one of the things that I really like about this show, because they have their friends with them. And so the things that, as a woman, that after you're dealing with a man, you might not understand like how you feel about certain things, and you can talk those over with your friends, and they are right there in the experience, and they get to see the guys that their friends are dating as well. So they talk, and Paige is like, I'm about to just, change my lipstick and all of that. And so they were like, yeah, you really need to just keep it pushing, because they're openly dating, right? And so it's like, you really can't get mad. Like, that's going to happen because it's only one of them, and it's three dudes. So, at this point, they all have three guys except for Paige, because she ended up sending Preston home later than she should have. She didn't send him home during elimination. She waited to the next day and sent him home, so they didn't let her go back and pick another dude. So anyway, the group, the girls rejoin the guys. They're over at the guys' suite. They rejoin the guys, and they're gonna play like a dating game. Well, I don't even know if it's a dating game, but it's a card game with like relationship type questions on it. And so Paige actually asked Justin to sit by her, and he literally stepped on top of a table to get to the other side of the room. Now, like I said, I understand him feeling some kind of way, having to have watched her kiss another dude, but he had to have known that it would happen, because it's three of y'all dating one of them. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so they're going back and forth with this card game. And one of the questions was, what is the pettiest thing that you've done after a breakup? So, that got me to thinking. I don't even remember the pettiest thing that I've done after a breakup. I'm gonna have to give that some thought. But after hearing these things, I realized that I'm not as petty as I thought I was. So, Justin, when he wins the cake with his answer, I don't even remember what everybody else said, because what Justin said just took me all the way somewhere else. Justin says that he slept with his ex's little sister. Now, I'm like, is that a red flag? Because that's petty, okay? That is like the pettiest of the petty. Like, that, I mean, that's not only causing a problem with you and her, that's causing a problem with her and her sister. That's crazy, okay? I was shocked. So, of course, Paige is like, okay, we gotta talk about that, because what? So they go outside. She asked him to come talk to her, and they go outside and they're talking. So in the middle of them talking, Justin just walks off. He's like, yo, I'll be back. He just walks off. And so she's like, oh my God, can I believe he just walked off while we're talking? But then he goes inside to get a blanket and comes back. So he was being extra dramatic or whatever. He brought her a blanket, so points for that. Um, but then they continue their conversation, and she just is really like, look, I need to know if this is new you or old you. Like, are you still this petty? So I've really never seen her get the answer. I mean, he said, yeah, of course he's gonna say that he's grown, but he really is in his feelings about watching her kiss this dude. So like if there were other women in the process for the men to date, I feel like he would have did something petty if he could, but he didn't this situation because he couldn't. It's only it's only the guys that are competing. So anyway, so then they get a challenge. The men get a challenge. There's going to be an open mic night, and the guys get to perform. So, but at the end of the performance, each girl gets to pick one guy for the romantic getaway. So they're all competing. Now, I like this element to the show because it allows them to bring in their personality, show me what you can do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like one size fits all. Like, they get to pick something to express how they, how they really are or whatever. So I like that they have challenges and that they actually have to be creative in the process, right? It's not something that like production set up. It's like they have to actually practice or come up with something that they're going to perform. So at this point, we halfway through. This show is only 4 weeks, and so we're halfway through. It's 2 weeks into this process. So before the competition, Mars and Tamara go on coffee dates with their 2 new dudes because remember Paige wasn't able to pick a new dude, so she gets to stay back at the suite since she only has 2 connections and she don't have nobody new to get to know. So Justin takes that opportunity to stop by her room with some green Skittles because green is her favorite color. Now I feel like that is a great gesture, but I wonder if she really likes the green Skittles because I don't want those. But it was a good gesture. And he said he had to go through 5 bags of Skittles to get the color. So he really trying to put in work or whatever. Even though he stepped across the table to get away from her when she asked him to come sit by her the night before, but whatever. So, all right, now we're down to where they're about to do the open mic night, okay? So everybody is, in their element. Chuck, who is funny, he is the host, and I felt like that was original too. Like he's not going to perform, but he's just going to host the whole thing. So he had jokes and everything. I thought he did good. So Chris, Jamal, and Giannis, okay, they did New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain? Now they had the moves down and everything. Okay, I that was one of my favorite performances out of the performances that the guys gave. And Josiah, who's a newcomer, he gave Tamara a lap dance. So he tried to at least. He gets the E for effort. Ishan did stand up, but I don't know if it was the way they edited it or what, but it did not go well. Like, I guess he gets points for efforts, but it sounded like he was gonna talk about black jokes, and he's not a black guy, but he might not be a white guy either. I don't know. You gotta watch it to see, but his performance wasn't good. And Justin did a poem. And then Ryan, who is the one that I said looked like Macaulay Culkin, he did something where he asked Tamara to come up and sit in front of him, and he said they were gonna lock eyes for 60 seconds and see if they liked what they saw. So everybody seemed to think that was cool, and she enjoyed it or whatever. So I guess if she got something out of it, I guess that was a good thing for him to do. So then Jamal was like, you know what? There's no rules to this open mic thing. So he took another shot, and so they could go twice, right? So he did a poem, and the poem that he did brought Tamara to tears. So he definitely got points for that. And he was also in that group that did the New Edition. So he gets double points because he's a talented man, apparently. So anyway, now it's time for the women to pick the men that they're going to take on the romantic getaway. Now, Tamara picked Jamal. And see, Jamal won her over with performing that New Edition song and doing that poem. Now, a secret about him, not even really a secret, but he does do spoken word. So he already has something in his arsenal, and he brought it out. So then Paige picked Christopher. And I feel like it's right for her to pick Christopher because she already spent the night with Justin before. And so she's going to go with Christopher on this romantic getaway to see how they get along. Now, another thing about Christopher is like a 28 or 29-year-old virgin. So he's only had, fellatio as far as what he was saying in the show. He's not actually had sex, but he has done other things to make it seem like he would know what he was doing. But he is a virgin. He's almost 30. He's a virgin. So Paige picked Christopher. And then Mars picked Ishan. So those are the people that they're going to go on their overnight dates with, their romantic getaways with. And so then they go somewhere They go somewhere called Whistler. I meant to look it up, but it's a lot of snow there, so it must be like one of those places that you can go to ski and stuff like that. So they have a nice looking house, and it has like a hot tub outside and things like that. So then the guys get a text and lets them know that the elimination is on the table, so they could mess up this date, this getaway, and be going home the next day, the next elimination. Um, so yeah, so they're kind of stressed out about that. But then they flipped to let us know that Mars has some information on Jamal. Apparently, she heard Jamal refer to Samara as T-Rex when he was talking to one of the other guys, or he was on the phone, or something like that. Um, anyway, however it happened, she overheard it, and she didn't tell Samara, but she is like hoping that Jamal will reveal, I guess, that part of his personality while they're there on the getaway. But Tamara is feeling Jamal. Okay, you can tell they're feeling each other. It's starting to grow. You know, that that's it. But okay, so then I'm watching Ishan and Mars, and they seem like they have a friend vibe to me. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. I think that's just gonna be, he's probably gonna get eliminated. I would be surprised if he didn't. So they leave us on a cliffhanger, of course, like most shows do. But next episode, we see that the hall opens up again. So somebody had to have gotten eliminated because the hall opens up, and it's 2 weeks in. They still picking new dudes. But they only have 3 dudes to focus on. So, and they're in the same location, so I can see how that could work. And then the women get to pick their dates. So it's like the women are driving this whole thing. They pick the dude, they pick who they want to go on the date with, and there's no confusion about, I didn't get to date this person. They're picking who they want to get to know more. So I can't wait to see what happens after the getaway. Apparently Jamal's comment comes out at the dinner table. Tamara don't look like she's happy with Mars or Jamal, because remember, Mars knew it, but she didn't say anything. So we will see how all of that plays out. But what did he mean by T-Rex? Like, what, he thinks she was like a dinosaur or what? Like, I don't want him calling her any names, but I'm just like, what was his? I want to know what his meaning behind it was. But anyway, if y'all not watching this show, get on there. On MTV, it comes on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. We'll see how this first season goes, and I wonder if they did a second season, like how would they do it? So it's 3 friends right now. I would like to see some guys do it too, 3 guys, and they get to go pick the girls, and it'll be interesting to see how they how they go. But we'll see we'll see. I'm already in a season that doesn't even exist yet. But anyway, that's my recap of episode 4. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video because episode 5 comes on tomorrow. All right, see y'all later. Bye.